Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Xenogears. We're in Shivat. In our room, I've already rested. It's, not sure if you can look in this chest or not. I thought you could, but... Nope, guess not. Alright, well, let's just go ahead and leave. So you're the newcomers from the surface? Seems you all aren't like the usual land dwellers we get. We're always happy to have more friends to fight against Solaris. I look forward to working with you. To protect Shivat from the outside, the ancient technology of the gate is used. It's fundamentally the same thing as the stuff Solaris has planted on the surface. Even with Solaris' technology, the gate cannot be broken through. But at times, I come to think whether this gate is only for protecting us from Solaris. Maybe that man left this gate behind to separate us, to isolate us from the rest of the world. If that was his intention, then Krelian is indeed dreadful. Does that man's resentment run that deep? Huh, I've heard that name before. Krelian holds the true power in Solaris, is what I'm saying, the irony of fate. Once that man fought alongside Roni Fatima, Queen Zephyr, and Lacan against Solaris. Oh, hey! So, there's a name we haven't heard in a while. That's, Bart and Margie's ancestor. Everything always comes full circle in this game. It really does. Ah, I see you're the son of Khan. Have you met Queen Zephyr yet? She still can't forget about the tragedy in Nysen during the Great War 500 years ago, even though it's not her fault. I assume she can't forgive herself for betraying and abandoning her fellow members, though she had no knowledge of what was going on. Oh, I may have said too much. I'm not supposed to know anything. Anyhow, keep up the good work in overthrowing Solaris, young man. A little bit more information here. Balthazar brought Maria to Shiva about 5 years ago, along with that Sebzan. Balthazar said he sneaked into Solaris by himself and tried to save Dr. Nicola and Maria. He laughed as he told me he managed to escape with Maria and take that Sebzan as a souvenir. But apparently not his son. Maria's father, Dr. Nikolai, was captured by Solaris, and nothing has been heard from him since. In any case, I'm sure he's being forced to do research on gears. If they develop Sebzan into a new gear weapon and start mass-producing them, well, to say the least, it would be more than we could ever handle. Once the Sebzan is mass-produced, the Federation will... Wrong game. Long ago, humans were with God in a paradise in the sky called Mahanon. The place was protected by the power of God. Humans were never exposed to the fear or danger of death. However, one day, humans entered God's forbidden garden and ate a fruit which bestowed upon them tremendous intelligence and power. God found out about the incident, and the humans were banished from the paradise. The prosperous times were over, an era of sorrow and hatred began. That was the first part of the legend of Genesis that was passed on from long ago. They say a legend such as this contains some truth to it. You have no idea, buddy. Humans banished from paradise were foolish enough to revolt against God. In order to resist the power of God, they created 12 anima relics, and called themselves gods. For 10 days, 10 nights, the world shed its blood. Mahanon was enveloped in flames. But human strength was no match for God, and the arrogant humans were destroyed by God's anger. Only a few righteous men were left on the land. However, God was also tired and wounded. He decided to rest in the deepest depths of the earth. God's rest was long, but eternity is only a moment to God. Since then, the righteous men who didn't revolt against God had to live in the harsh nature by themselves, being in constant fear of death. The legend also says the following: when the righteous men's children are born again, God will awaken from his long rest and give a helping hand to them. If the legend is true, what will the awakening God bring to the people? What kind of existence is God? Guess you'll just have to hope to live to find out. It's not known how much of the Genesis legend is true. However, the anima relics made through God's wisdom do exist. Solaris' Gazel ministry is desperate to find the anima relic in Mahanon, a place known to be God's resting place. If Solaris attains that power, no one will be able to stop them. What will happen to the world then? That does sound pretty bad. Let's go down these stairs. Ah, another door. Hey, you look like an Ave soldier. You just arrived from the surface, didn't you? I've heard about you. They say you saved our colleague, captured by the Ethos. Thank you very much for that. I wish they'd give me a mission. I'd teach those Solarians a lesson.
Oh, and you are? I feel like I've met you before. You resemble Khan, the one who taught us the art of fighting. Nobody knows his whereabouts after he went down to the surface on the Queen's mission. I doubt something bad happened to him considering his skills, but I wonder where he is.
Faye is wondering that too. Oh, so hungry. Is the meal ready yet? Whatever you do, if it all goes back to food. You got that? Food. For me, I get the feeling I'm most alive when I'm eating. Isn't it the same with you guys? Eat to live or live to eat? We don't even know, do we? I bet those Solarians are always eating all the good stuff. Arg, that's unforgivable. Yes, they are. We will find out more about that later. Delicious Solarian food. We're still running around in the sky because of that war that broke out 500 years ago. It doesn't make any sense. Why do we have to suffer for what our ancestors did? What do you think? I can't even get fresh ingredients for meals. I've had it.
Wait. Yui? Oh, welcome. You look good, Faye. The meal will be ready soon. Please join us and eat to your heart's content.
Yui? Well, why are you here?
Oh, didn't I tell you before? I was born here. After you left the village, I decided to return to Shivat along with the survivors of the village. Because the soldiers from Ave and Kislev were showing up around there.
I see.
Welcome back.
Oh, it's nice to be back. Thanks for your trouble. Sorry for putting so much trouble on you.
What are you saying? It's not your fault. There's nothing to worry about. The people from the village understood after they came here and heard the story. They couldn't blame only you for that incident because Solaris was behind it.
Yes, but...
Have you met the Queen? If you haven't, go say hello to her as soon as possible.
Okay, then I'll see you later. Midori! Who's still not talking to me? Oh, she speaks, for once.
Choo-choo, my friend.
Midori really talks a lot. It's amazing how much stuff you have to talk about. We can have a conversation without talking. Have you forgotten already?
Actually, I didn't know that you could have a conversation without talking, but okay.
You humans are truly unusual living beings, aren't you? You're all like shattered fragments of a mirror.
That great war 500 years ago, I can remember it like it was yesterday. What? How old are you? That's something I can't get myself to forget. Many lives were lost, much love, many dreams, friends, those irreplaceably important things in our lives were scarred and left to bleed. Are those days going to return once again? I don't want my children or grandchildren to go through that nightmare. You must have a lot of children and grandchildren if you're 500 years old. Well, this place looks pretty interesting. Let's go the other way first.
This month is going to be very tight, too. We must cut down on rations a little to make it. Everyone will probably gripe about that. What am I going to do? guess these are storage containers from the surface.
We've been flying up in the sky, right? It isn't easy getting supplies. You can't just go out and get all our own supplies either. Made it this far somehow, but if the situation continues like this, we'd better do something.
Could always make a deal with some people on the ground. And I fall off because I wasn't looking. Whee! Pretty cool looking place though.
Further down is the prison. It hasn't been used for several hundred years, though. It isn't anything worth seeing. Well, I guess you could say we had a similar barbaric phase like the land dwellers.
Prison doesn't mean that it isn't necessarily barbaric. It's very dark. So if there's no one here, why do you have a guard? And now there's people here.
This is where we keep the criminals in their cells. It's been said that soldiers from Solaris were locked up in here long ago. I've heard we've even done many atrocious things at that time. War is like that. It abolishes good and bad. One betrays friends, neighbors, even his own flesh and blood. War turns even good, kind humans into crazed monsters.
This is a carbonite cage that petrifies humans alive, regardless of whether it was only used on criminals. It is still heinous.
A carbonite cage.
No matter how you look at it, they've sure thought of cruel things. By the way, you land dwellers know about the Nisan tragedy during the Great War? Did you hear anything from the higher-ups?
No, I don't know anything about it.
I doubt they told you. Those old men politely avoid talking about it. Do they think the truth will disappear if they turn away from the past? Bunch of fools. Be careful, land dweller. You'll have a terrible time if you open up your heart to those old men, just like they did in Nisan 500 years ago.
Huh. So, you're not going to tell us anything about it then either. Let's see what's down here.
This is a machine created to put brutal criminals and dangerous monsters to sleep. It isn't expected to be used again, but it is ready any time just in case. Anyone who has no business here should leave. Get out, right now!
How rude. I want to look around. I'm going to look around, because I am awesome like that. Oh, okay. Not much here. I guess we will leave then. Fine. Be that way.
That day, 500 years ago, that woman was definitely here. There was no other alternative but to be a captive. We could have won at the cost of many sacrifices, only if that traitor hadn't disappeared with the woman. The escaped woman freed the beast. The beast sucked human blood and ate their flesh, and tore the world apart. Excuse me, miss, you resemble the girl who was like an angel, and was sacrificed in the Great War. I can picture Zephyr and the followers' confusion. They were the ones who were actually responsible for the death of Sophia.
She's Mother Sophia of Nisan?
In actuality, we are still being punished for that crime 500 years ago. It feels almost ridiculous.
Well, I guess we should probably go talk to the Queen, see if she will tell us anything about any of this. Definitely hearing a lot of names pop up of people that we've heard of. Don't know a whole lot about. Ah, water. Alright, guess we'll go up this way now. If we don't get stuck on the wall.
Maria has truly done so much for us as of now. Many of us consider her to be the guardian angel of Shiva. Regardless of how well she can control Seepson, she's only a 13 years old girl.
Nice poor grammar there.
She's probably worried sick about her father who's been captured by Solaris.
Oh, and if you haven't noticed, she is a play on, I think it's Giant Robo, and to an extent Gigantor. Those early Super Robot shows. Balthazar has strongly told Maria not to leave Shivat under any circumstances. He probably said that because he knows that if provided with the chance, that child would immediately try to fly off to Solaris, all by herself, to rescue her captured father, riding on the Seepson. Oh, god damn it, game. Hold on a second. Alright. Let's talk to these people here.
The scientists of Solaris had bitter experiences in the revolt by the lambs 500 years ago, so they decided to do some work on the lambs. They inserted various limiters so that they would never be able to revolt. For the past 500 years, Solaris controlled the lambs' consciousness, behavior, and all. Naturally, lambs don't know anything about it. That makes it even more unforgivable, although it's highly efficient.
That is definitely not good. Limiters, you say? This land is a testing ground for Solaris. Their objectives are genetic engineering, crossbreeding, and mind control. They want to collect data from the newly created organisms and general combat data. Lambs are mere livestock to be raised for Solaris' purposes. The ethos was established mainly to control the lambs. They're not doing this for fun either. It's an important simulation. Creating appropriate organisms that can align themselves with the anima relics is one of their important objectives. In any case, the lambs will continue to be Solaris' guinea pigs unless someone stops them. That's our goal. The limiter restrains the lamb's abilities, but there may be a way to remove it. Tora Melchior, he used to be one of the 3 sages of Shivat. He must know a way to remove the limiter. Oh. Maybe we'll have to find him then.
The whereabouts of the 3 sages, Melchior, Balthazar, and Gaspar, have not been known since the Great War. There's even a rumor that they lost faith in humans because of the tragedy in Nisan. Solaris' activities have increased once again. I wonder where they are and what they're up to.
Well, we've met one of them already. A man named Krelian was the mastermind behind the planting of the limiter in the lambs. He was originally a lamb. He learned molecular engineering from the sage Melchior personally. But he misused it for such a terrible act. An unbelievable monster.
Sounds like it.
And he is apparently still alive too. Oh, we haven't talked to you yet.
This is the tactical command room. Currently, we are keeping track of the activities of both Solaris and the land and collecting data. Lately, there's been a lot of unusual activity down on the surface. You think Solaris found something?
Did they find something? That which the Gazelle Ministry of Solaris desperately seeks is the 12 anima relics created by God's wisdom. The merging of an anima relic and a gear can produce an omni-gear. The subjects must be in suitable synchronization or else the transformation will not occur. Some of the anima relics have been discovered, but there are still more left undiscovered, sleeping deep in the earth. Even we have been devoting much to the search, but to no avail.
The power of the Omni-Gears was so great that they could even hold back Diabolos' collapse 500 years ago. If any more of these fall into the hands of the enemy, our future and even those of the Land Dwellers will be. I implore you, Land Dwellers, we require your assistance. Shivat must collect the remaining anima relics, by any means necessary. So the anima relics were created by God's wisdom. I wonder if that is truly the case. All in all, that unit was meant to merge with something inorganic. That would be the proper assumption. It is foolish of humans to try to depend on such things. Oh my, I've said too much. Forget what I said.
I don't know. Other points of view are always good.
The powerless are maimed and slaughtered all because those crazed leaders
gave out one bloodlusted order. It doesn't matter how advanced their technology or culture is. It's the same thing. Not one thing has changed over the years. It's gotten so sad you can almost laugh. Ha! How long does this have to last?
This is the library where many books are gathered. This place is packed with many ancient books that you cannot find on the surface. If you're a book fanatic, you'll drool over books, like our first-run prints, limited books, autograph books, banned books, and mountains of hard-to-find books, and more mountains and mountains of books. Ah, it's too much. Well, setting that aside, if there's something you want to know about from the past, it'd be good to go in and talk to the librarians. Don't worry, it's their job anyway to tell the new people from the surface about the past.
Long ago, I've heard that a lone choo-choo was taken from the town by wise men. I haven't heard what happened after that. I hope that choo-choo is doing well.
I don't think we can actually read the books, so let's talk to the librarians. You're probably already aware of this, but this Shivat is protected by a special gate made possible by an ancient technology. Even Solaris cannot break this barrier. Because of that, we were able to avoid being invaded to this day. But even with that, we don't have the power to attack Solaris either. It's a stalemate. Basically, we've just been glaring at each other.
Well, it always has to change eventually.
The great war that unfolded between Solaris and Shivat 500 years ago was a heroic battle with the freedom and independence of the land dwellers at stake. The rebel army, which centered around Shivat, was successful in attacking the inner citadel of Solaris, but only with tremendous sacrifices. However, before we almost made it, the unthinkable happened. A new enemy appeared that even Solaris had not anticipated. That was when the nightmare began, the nightmare never seen before. Nightmare that we pray we would never have to see again.
At one point, Solaris and its Gazel ministry, made up of 12 elders, dominated the world with more military might than they have presently. The people of the land were treated like slaves. If any of them resisted, they were quickly and mercilessly dealt with. They treated the people as if they weren't living beings. Eventually, people on the surface began to rebel from all parts and ultimately led to the Solaris-Shivat War 500 years ago.
Diabolos. The sudden appearance of the mysterious army put a full stop to the battle between the humans 500 years ago. Those angels of death, utterly unrivaled, with no fear or mercy. Their only intention was to eradicate all life on this planet. Even Solaris' proudest gear battalions were mere flies to them. Nothing stopped them as they indiscriminately slaughtered and trampled upon countless lives. At that time, people were certain that the end of the world was approaching. Dominated by feelings of constant fear and hopelessness, it was a dreadful life.
The reason mankind was able to make it through and survive certain death 500 years ago was because of the power of these giants created through God's wisdom. Roni, Fatima, and the other young fighters piloted these giants and destroyed the heart of Diabolos. Seeing an opportunity to counterattack, mankind desperately stood up against Diabolos and successfully annihilated them. Roni, Fatima, Queen Zephyr, and the rest of the young ones put their lives on the line and won back the future for this world.
Oh, Bart sure comes from a noble line.
How it is degenerated. Oh, I'm sorry, Bart. After the war, Solaris used a gate like ours to separate itself from the surface, and then they erased all memory of their existence from the surface dwellers. Due to this, the surface dwellers are still not aware that they've been secretly dominated by Solaris all along. To be born into a false reality, to grow up in it, and to die in it without ever approaching the truth. That is the life of a surface dweller.
Those giants which fought long ago to save us, an existence which surpasses all other gears. They are the legendary Omni-Gears. One of them is the treasure of the Ave royal family, which is currently resting somewhere within the continent of Ignis. I can't guarantee that.
There's a lot of talking to do here.
After the war and the collapse of Diabolos, similarly to the land dwellers, the heavily beaten Solaris forces began to pull back and return to their home country.
taking along with them vast numbers of land dwellers as slaves. We couldn't stop them. The only way for the war-torn land dwellers to survive was to depend on Solaris. After the brief moment of hope, Solaris once again began to reign over our lives. A cold and harsh era had begun. 500 years have passed and their reign still continues. No one knows how long this is going to last.
Well, not too much longer if we have anything to say about it.
Surviving through the Great War 500 years ago and the Diabolos collapse, we and the rest of our comrades secluded ourselves on Shiva. At the time, Shivat was being constructed at the tip of Babel Tower. We were able to escape to the sky before Solaris once again ascended to power over the land. Since then, we've been wandering the skies, while overlooking the activities of the land below.
Well, that's quite the information dump there. Thanks, people. I think we're going to make this episode kind of long because we still have more talking to do. Rather than have 2 episodes of talking, let's try to just have one long one. Wiseman, hey!
You're finally here. Where have you been?
Well, why are you here?
I've told you before. I learned martial arts with your father in Shivat. The Queen is waiting. Go ahead.
I think I'll go to the store first. The statue looks kind of familiar. Alright, you're not going to let me look at it. I wonder if this is a Queen's chamber. Let's see what's over here. I love these windows. Look really nice with the, Oh, hey! Alright. It's a place new to go.
Look, Ma, I'm at the top of the world!
Okay. I guess we'll go back in. I do really like the light effects that they do with those.
Please come in.
Well, I'm already in, but I guess I'll go in this room. I suppose that's what you meant. Well, that looks high-tech.
Thank you for coming such a long way. I'm the Queen of Shivat, Zephyr. Your Majesty, you're the... I may appear to be like this, but I'm actually 522 years old.
Damn. 522? Is that really possible? You don't look a day over 12!
Yes. I and a select few of the vassals have undergone some special life-extending treatments.
Can we get that, please? I'll take that.
We were required to continue living until that final day approaches, because of one man. To continue living, this is our atonement for that tragedy 500 years ago. Let us discontinue this discussion of the past. I've heard many things about all of you from Wiseman. Wiseman has been conducting his operations on the surface under my orders, to keep an eye on that man's activities. Also, he was ordered to bring anyone from the surface who would be of help to us to Shivat.
He didn't exactly bring us here.
500 years ago, we fought against Solaris for the freedom of the land dwellers. Even after that, we continue to resist Solaris, although we are short of any real power. Land dwellers, can you find it in your heart to help us? We must free mankind from the grasps of Solaris. We must gain true freedom and build a peaceful world to live in.
I see, you're quite right. But there's no guarantee that you aren't the same as Solaris, right? Even if Solaris were to be defeated,
The people of the surface may just as well encounter a new dominator.
However, I tell no lie when I say we are doing this purely for the future of the land dwellers. If you still cannot believe us, then defeat Solaris, gain back the independence of the land dwellers, and then see if we still embrace the heavens together. It should do you some good if you rest in the palace and think about it. You must think about what you ought to do. But remember, Solaris has been quite active lately, so we don't have much time for leisure. As for you, Ellie, your family and friends, you must understand that they will all have to be your enemies. Without this clear understanding, you may be placing your companions in a situation where it may cost them their lives. Yes, I understand. Very well, then. Now go and get some rest.
Oh. Okay. I was actually thought we had more conversation, but maybe not.
Faye, go with Shivat. Your father, Khan, would have wanted you to.
Alright. I was expecting a little bit more, but okay. Well, I guess we'll end the episode here then. See you in the next one as we hopefully talk to the Queen a bit more. See you then.